What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we had a pretty exciting new trailer for Destiny 2, the Forsaken DLC that's going to be dropping later this year. And this actually comes in the form of a kind of story teaser reveal trailer, and there is some pretty interesting stuff that we see in here. Just worth me mentioning, I am actually out at E3. I'm recording in a hotel room right now, so maybe a little bit of background noise and that kind of stuff. To jump in and talk about this just a little bit, obviously it's pretty interesting, but we see Cayde there. We do see Prince Uldren, and he actually appears to be kind of surrounded by a bunch of these new enemies. And one of these enemies you can pretty easily identify as one of the kind of barons that we're going to see in this expansion. These are some of the new enemies. But obviously, Prince Uldren is also in the shot. And it kind of looks like these guys are with him, which is obviously pretty bizarre. Uldren's eyes are also glowing. Pretty scary looking dude now. So obviously there's going to be some kind of backstory to something that happened to Uldren. And less of any other potential trickery with what we're seeing here, because of course we see Uldren actually fire the Ace of Spades hand cannon, Cayde's exotic weapon from back in D1. And this is where we got a big spoiler alert, guys. I can't actually run this trailer in full because it does contain copyrighted music, so I can't put it on YouTube. But like I said, spoiler alert. After Uldren fires the shot from the Ace of Spades, we see Cayde actually lying on the floor, so Uldren has shot Cayde 6 with the Ace of Spades. Uldren and these enemies appear to just walk off, leaving Cayde on the floor. So what on earth is actually going on here? Obviously, I don't want to speculate too much. Maybe Uldren got caught up in some crazy bad stuff and has turned into a super evil dude, or maybe something else is even controlling Uldren, unless of course he just turned bad, or maybe he was always bad. Who even knows what's going on? It feels like everything's a lie, which is kind of the interesting thing about this trailer. But the portal in the background there is pretty intriguing. Kind of looks a little bit like a Vex portal or something, but I'm not entirely sure that's what it is. Maybe it could be shared technology. But at the very end, we do actually see another character walking away into the distance, and they're actually carrying Cayde 6 away. This appears to be a completely different character, obviously a hooded, it looks like a hunter. So maybe they've come to rescue Cayde. Maybe this is all part of the evil plan. The cool thing about this story-wise is that it just raises so many questions, but what we actually have is a very intriguing story potentially. But of course, the new enemies that we actually see Uldren with are part of the Scorn. This is a new race of enemies that we'll be seeing in the Forsaken DLC. So definitely tipping towards Cayde 6 actually being dead. Another interesting thing I would point out here is that on some of the artwork for this DLC, we actually see Cayde 6's hand. We can see what is presumably Cayde 6, although I'm not entirely sure now. It could maybe even be Uldren. I'm leaning towards Cayde 6. That's what I thought originally. And we do see these kind of 5 lines almost scratched out. Maybe that represents 5 lives. Cayde 6 had the 6th life, of course. So will there be a Cayde 7? Well, presumably that would ultimately be a thing. Of course, Cayde is an EXO, and that number actually represents the number of times that they've been reset as an EXO. But obviously this is a pretty interesting moment for Destiny's story. A potentially very huge event is about to happen in the Forsaken DLC. And obviously we've yet to see more of the actual features, the gameplay, and things that are going to change in Destiny 2 when this drops. But with a lot of the story conversation that's been going on and some of the improvements we've been seeing so far, and then of course this kind of huge twist, I think that story actually has some potential to be very interesting. Another thing to point out is that during the story for Forsaken, we will actually work with Cayde 6 to hunt down a number of barons. So how exactly that will work is still something that we don't know. The timeline or the point that we're seeing the trailer, obviously we can only guess at really at this point. I'll be completely honest with you guys, generally I don't like to over speculate when it comes to story stuff because I tend to be completely wrong when I do that. But really interesting trailer, guys. Like I said, let me know your thoughts about it down below. Uldren holding Cayde's weapon is just so bizarre. Really excited to see more of it. Obviously, I'm out at E3, like I said. Bungie have said they will be talking more about Forsaken throughout E3, so I'll keep you guys posted with anything. But if you have enjoyed this video, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more D2 content. Let me know your thoughts on any of the stuff in the trailer. But for now, I'll catch you guys very soon.